Ladies and gentlemen, in life there will always be challenges. There will always be obstacles that try to hold you back. There will always be people who tell you that you can't, that you shouldn't, or that you're not enough. But let me tell you something, none of that matters if you are so good at what you do that they simply can't ignore you. Excellence is a choice, not a gift. Excellence is not something that happens by chance. It's something you commit to every single day. You don't rise to the occasion. When you need it most, you rise to the occasion because you've made a habit of excellence. Excellence means mastering your craft, refining your abilities, and delivering results that speak for themselves. When you walk into a room, you want people to take notice not because of what you say, but because of what you do. Your work should be a reflection of your commitment to being the best. When you focus on excellence, you put yourself in a position where people have no choice but to see your value. Now, there's something special about every one of us. We all have unique gifts, talents, and abilities that set us apart. The key is identifying what makes you unique and honing those skills until they shine brighter than anything else. Don't try to be someone you're not. Don't try to imitate others. Focus on what you do best and become exceptional at it. When you do, you won't have to fight for attention. It will come naturally. You will become a person of influence because your unique gifts will speak louder than anything else. The world is filled with people trying to be something they're not, but if you choose to be the best version of yourself, there is no way anyone can ignore you. Mastery is not achieved overnight. It's a process. It's about consistently putting in the work, even when it seems like no one is watching. It's about learning from your mistakes and growing from them. The most successful people in the world didn't get there by luck. They got there through a commitment to mastering their craft. They became so good at what they did that their work couldn't be ignored. They were irreplaceable because they didn't just show up, they showed up with excellence. They were willing to put in the hours to do the work that others were unwilling to do, and in doing so, they became the standard by which others were measured. But mastery is only part of the equation. In this ever-changing world, you must also be committed to continuous growth. The world doesn't stand still, and neither should you. You must never stop learning, never stop evolving, and never stop improving. You need to seek out knowledge, stay ahead of the curve, and be adaptable. The more you learn, the more you become invaluable. The more you adapt to the changing environment, the more irreplaceable you become. You can't afford to stagnate. If you do, someone else will rise up and take your place. But if you commit to growth, you'll position yourself to not only survive, but thrive. Finally, consistency is what separates the successful from the unsuccessful. It's not enough to be great one time. It's not enough to shine in one moment and then fade into the background. Excellence must be consistent. You must show up every single day with your best, no matter what. When you make excellence a habit, it becomes who you are, and people will begin to notice. They will come to expect the best from you, and that's when you've truly positioned yourself in a place where you can't be ignored. So ladies and gentlemen, if you want to stand out in a world that is constantly trying to make you blend in, if you want to rise above the noise and make an impact, then you must be so good they can't ignore you. Commit to excellence, discover and refine your unique gifts, master your craft, embrace continuous growth, and be consistent. When you do, you will build a legacy that cannot be overlooked, a presence that demands attention, and a life that cannot be ignored. Excellence is not an accident, nor is it a mere aspiration. It is a deliberate and intentional choice. It is a standard, a mindset that distinguishes the ordinary from the extraordinary. Too often we settle for mediocrity, thinking that the bare minimum is enough to get by. But let me tell you something today. The world does not remember the ones who do just enough. It remembers those who give more, who push beyond what's expected, and who consistently deliver at the highest level. Excellence is that force that separates the great from the good, the successful from the mediocre. The power of excellence lies in its ability to set you apart. When you choose to commit to excellence, you are choosing to elevate yourself, your work, and your life to a level where your efforts cannot be ignored. It's about more than just doing something well, it's about doing it to the best of your ability and then some. Excellence demands that you give everything you have, your time, your effort, your focus, and it asks for more than you thought you had to give. But when you operate with excellence, it doesn't just benefit you, it leaves a lasting impact on everyone you touch. Excellence is the standard you set for yourself, regardless of external circumstances. It doesn't matter if no one else is paying attention or if you don't get immediate recognition. Excellence demands that you show up every day and give your best, whether it's in the smallest task or the biggest project. The beauty of excellence is that it speaks for itself. You don't need to shout about your achievements or wait for someone to notice. Excellence shows in the way you work, in the way you treat people, and in the results you produce. When you are committed to excellence, you become a magnet for success, opportunities, and recognition. People will notice your commitment. They will see the results of your hard work, and they will be drawn to it. But let me be clear, excellence is not about perfection. It's not about being flawless. It's about striving to improve, pushing yourself to grow, and continually raising the bar. It's about learning from your mistakes and using them as stepping stones for greater accomplishments. Excellence is not achieved in a single moment. It's built over time through a series of small, deliberate actions. The effort you put in today compounds into something much larger tomorrow. The key to excellence is consistency, the ability to give your best every time, regardless of the challenges or setbacks you may face. Excellence doesn't fluctuate based on circumstances. It remains steadfast, rooted in a commitment to be the best version of yourself. When you commit to excellence, you also become a catalyst for change. You begin to inspire those around you, lifting them up and challenging them to operate at a higher level as well. Excellence is contagious. When people see you working relentlessly to improve yourself and your craft, they can't help but be inspired to do the same. Your standard becomes their standard, and in turn, the collective effort moves the entire community forward. Whether you realize it or not, your commitment to excellence affects more than just your own life. It transforms the lives of others as well. You set the tone and others follow your example. So I challenge you today, do not settle for mediocrity. Do not simply aim to be good enough. The world needs excellence, and it's within your power to create it. Strive for more, give more, and be more. Push the boundaries of what you think is possible. Become someone who cannot be ignored, whose work speaks volumes without saying a word. Excellence is the key to unlocking your potential, achieving your dreams, and making an impact that lasts. Don't just go through the motions, go through them with purpose, with passion, and with a relentless pursuit of excellence. It will not only change your life, it will change the world around you. When you look in the mirror, what do you see? Do you see just another person walking through life trying to fit in with the crowd, or do you see someone uniquely designed with a set of gifts and talents that are meant to be used for something greater than yourself? Far too often we spend our time comparing ourselves to others, trying to mold ourselves into what the world tells us we should be. We look at others' successes, their strengths, and we wonder why we don't measure up. But let me tell you something, there is power in focusing on your own unique gifts, because you were made to stand out, not to blend in. Every person in this room has something special. You have abilities and strengths that no one else can replicate. There's something that you do that no one else can do quite like you, and that's what makes you irreplaceable. The challenge, however, is recognizing what those gifts are and then having the courage to focus on them. The world might try to convince you that you need to be a jack of all trades, to have a little bit of this and a little bit of that. But true success comes when you embrace who you really are and use the gifts that are uniquely yours. The mistake many people make is that they get distracted by what others are doing. They look at someone who seems to have it all figured out and think maybe I should be like them, or they see someone else excelling in an area and wonder why they're not experiencing the same success. But here's the truth: the world doesn't need another version of someone else. The world needs you, your original self, with all your quirks, your talents, and your unique perspective. When you spend your energy focusing on your unique gifts, that's when you start to see the magic happen. But discovering your unique gifts takes time. It takes self-reflection. It requires you to look deep within yourself and ask, what am I truly passionate about? What am I naturally good at? What makes me come alive? You might not have all the answers right away, but the key is not to rush it. You must be patient with the process, knowing that with every step you take toward understanding yourself better, you're one step closer to realizing your full potential. Too many people fail because they're trying to fit into someone else's mold rather than taking the time to carve out their own path. The sooner you embrace your uniqueness, the sooner you'll see that success isn't about being like everyone else. It's about being the best version of yourself. When you focus on your unique gifts, you begin to unlock doors you didn't even know existed. You'll find yourself in places you've never imagined, surrounded by opportunities that align perfectly with who you are. You'll start to see the difference you can make, not by imitating others, but by offering something truly original. People will begin to take notice, not because you're trying to fit in, but because you're standing out in your own authentic way. And the more you lean into what makes you unique, the more confidence you will gain. You will become unstoppable. Don't waste time wishing you were someone else. The world doesn't need another copy. It needs your unique light, your perspective, your gifts. And the beauty of it is that your uniqueness doesn't make you weak, it makes you powerful. It's the key to your success. The minute you stop comparing yourself to others and start focusing on your own talents, your own strengths, and your own journey, that's when you will truly begin to thrive. There's no one else like you, and that's your superpower. When you focus on your unique gifts, you'll see that the world will open up in ways you never thought possible. Mastery is the path to impact. It's not enough to be good at something. You must strive for a level of excellence that cannot be overlooked. When you commit yourself to mastering your craft, you open the door to a world of possibility. It's through mastery that you can make a difference, not just in your own life, but in the lives of others. The truth is, the world doesn't need more mediocrity. It needs more people who are willing to dedicate themselves to becoming exceptional. Mastery is not an overnight achievement. It's a journey, one that requires patience, persistence, and a relentless pursuit of improvement. When you decide to walk the path of mastery, you are acknowledging that growth is a continuous process. You'll face challenges along the way, and at times it will feel like you're not making any progress at all. But it's in these moments of struggle that the seeds of mastery are sown. Each mistake, each failure, and each setback is not a sign to quit. It's an opportunity to learn, adapt, and grow stronger. Mastery is built on a foundation of overcoming obstacles and pushing through difficulty. Without it, you cannot fully appreciate the value of your success. In every field, in every industry, there are people who settle for good enough. They show up, do their job, and move on. But those who are truly committed to making an impact are the ones who go beyond the surface. They put in the time and effort to truly understand their craft, to refine their skills, and to create something that stands the test of time. This is what makes them extraordinary. It's what separates the average from the exceptional. When you dedicate yourself to mastery, you don't just aim to be better than others, you aim to be the best version of yourself. And when you reach that level of expertise, the impact you can have is limitless. Mastery requires consistency. You cannot become great by doing something once or twice. It takes time, it takes repetition, and it takes discipline. It means showing up every day, putting in the work, and giving your best. There will be days when you feel exhausted, when you want to take a break, but true mastery demands that you keep going even when it feels hard. It requires resilience, because mastery isn't just about the end result, it's about the journey. The work you put in along the way is what shapes your character and molds you into someone who can make a significant difference in the world. When you commit to mastery, you also commit to growth. Every day is an opportunity to learn something new, to push your boundaries and to improve. No matter how good you get, there's always something more to discover, something more to refine. This constant pursuit of improvement is what gives your work depth and meaning. It's not just about achieving success, it's about becoming a person who is constantly evolving, who is never satisfied with the status quo, and who always seeks to elevate themselves in their craft. Mastery is a mindset, not just a skill set. It's the understanding that there's always room for growth, always a new challenge to conquer. Ultimately, mastery is the key to creating a lasting impact. When you reach a level of mastery in your field, your influence extends far beyond your own achievements. People begin to recognize the value you bring, not just because of what you do, but because of who you are and the excellence you represent. You become a source of inspiration for others, a model of what is possible when one dedicates themselves fully to their craft. And it is through this impact that you begin to leave a legacy, one that shapes the lives of those around you and inspires future generations to pursue their own mastery. So remember, mastery is the path to impact. It requires dedication, patience, and an unwavering commitment to your own growth. It's not just about being good at what you do, it's about becoming exceptional, about refining your skills and your mindset until you can't be ignored. When you choose the path of mastery, you choose a life of purpose, influence, and lasting impact. Keep striving, keep growing, and never settle for anything less than greatness. When you think about success, think about growth. The truth is, growth is not optional, it's essential. Success is not about where you start or even where you are today. Success is about where you are willing to go tomorrow, and the willingness to embrace the journey that will get you there. And that journey is paved with one simple yet powerful commitment, the commitment to growth and continuous learning. It's easy to think that once you've reached a certain point, once you've acquired a certain amount of knowledge or skill, that you've made it. But the moment you think you've learned everything there is to know, the moment you stop learning and growing, that's the moment you begin to fall behind. The world is always changing, and if you're not committed to growth, if you're not investing in your own development, you'll be left behind. The most successful people in life didn't just reach a point and stop, they continued to learn, evolve, and adapt. They understood that growth is a lifelong process, and they embraced that process wholeheartedly. Growth requires a mindset shift. It's about being willing to step outside your comfort zone and challenge yourself. It's about being humble enough to recognize that no matter how much you've learned, there's always more to discover. It's about understanding that every single day is an opportunity to improve, to be better than you were yesterday. The most successful people I know are the ones who have the courage to say, I don't know everything, and then take action to learn what they need to know. They recognize that in order to climb to new heights, they must be willing to let go of old habits, outdated ways of thinking, and any mindset that limits their potential. Think about it, the world doesn't wait for you to catch up. It moves at a pace that demands constant growth. The information, the skills, the tools you need to succeed are always evolving, and you must evolve with them. You must commit to learning even when it feels uncomfortable, even when it feels like you've reached your limit. That's the key to long-term success, the willingness to keep going, even when the path gets tough. It's about pushing through the hard times, through the doubt and fear, and continuing to move forward with the belief that the knowledge you gain today will serve you tomorrow. Commitment to growth doesn't just happen when things are easy. It happens when you're faced with obstacles, when you're knocked down, when you think you can't keep going. In those moments, growth is not just about gaining new knowledge, it's about learning how to persevere, how to overcome, how to grow from every experience, good or bad. It's about using every failure, every setback, and every challenge as fuel for your growth. The pain you experience today is shaping the person you will become tomorrow. If you can embrace the lesson in every struggle, you will emerge stronger, wiser, and more prepared for what lies ahead. Learning is not confined to books or classrooms. It's found in real life experiences, in conversations with others, in the challenges you face and the victories you achieve. The more you expose yourself to different perspectives, ideas, and challenges, the more you learn. Growth is a choice you make every day. And it's a choice that will shape the trajectory of your life. Every time you push yourself to learn something new, every time you step outside your comfort zone and challenge yourself to be better, you build a foundation for greater success. Growth is not easy, but it is worth it. When you commit to growth and continuous learning, you open yourself up to endless possibilities. You position yourself to take on new opportunities, to create new solutions, to meet new challenges with confidence. You transform yourself from someone who is simply getting by to someone who is growing, evolving, and thriving. And when you are thriving, you don't have to worry about falling behind. You are always ahead of the curve because you are committed to being better every day. Growth is the key to becoming the best version of yourself, and when you commit to that process, there's nothing you can't achieve. Remember, this growth is not a destination, it is a lifelong journey. The commitment to learning, evolving, and pushing yourself beyond your limits is the foundation of lasting success. No matter where you are today, there is always room to grow, always a new lesson to be learned, and always a better version of yourself waiting to emerge. So embrace the challenges, seek out the lessons, and never stop growing. The world will never stop changing, and neither should you. Commit to the process of continuous growth, and you will not only unlock your fullest potential, but you will also inspire those around you to do the same. Your journey of growth is the greatest investment you can make, and it will lead you to heights you've only dreamed of. Stay focused, stay committed, and keep learning, for the best version of you is yet to come.